If you watch till the end, you'll learn so much about how one person's life can turn into a living hell, and how the lives of those around them can also be dragged into that nightmare in no time. It was a cold October evening in New York City, and everything seemed normal until it wasn't. Sam Anderson, a 27-year-old software engineer, thought he had his life all figured out. But what he didn't know was that his past was about to come back to haunt him in ways he could never have imagined. Sam was born and raised in a small town in Maine, but he moved to New York to chase his dreams. Despite his busy life in the city, he always felt like something from his past was lurking in the shadows, trying to catch up with him. It started with an unexplainable spine pain that radiated throughout his body, leaving him in agony. No doctor could diagnose the cause, and painkillers provided no relief. One night, while Sam was working late in his downtown Manhattan apartment, his phone rang. The caller ID showed an unknown number. When he answered, all he could hear was static and a faint whisper saying, "You can't escape." The voice was familiar but distorted, sending chills down his spine. The next day, his girlfriend, Emily, noticed that Sam was not himself. He had dark circles under his eyes, and he was unusually quiet. She tried to comfort him, but he remained distant. That evening, they decided to go out for dinner to cheer him up. As they walked through Times Square, Sam suddenly collapsed, clutching his chest and gasping for breath. Emily rushed him to the emergency room at Mount Sinai Hospital, where doctors conducted every possible test, but all results came back normal. Sam was discharged with no explanation for his condition. The couple returned home, hoping the worst was over. But little did they know, their nightmare was just beginning. A few days later, Sam began having vivid nightmares. He saw himself standing in front of a house he didn't recognize, surrounded by dense fog. In these dreams, a woman with hollow eyes would appear, whispering in a language he couldn't understand. Sam would wake up in a cold sweat, feeling a presence in his room. One night, Emily woke up to find Sam standing in the corner of their bedroom, staring blankly at the wall. His eyes were open, but he wasn't there. It was as if something had taken over his body. When she called out to him, he turned around with a sinister smile and said in a voice that wasn't his own, "You are next." Terrified, Emily contacted a renowned paranormal investigator, Dr. Jacob Williams, known for his work in exorcisms and cleansing haunted places. Dr. Williams agreed to visit their apartment. Upon entering, he immediately sensed a dark energy lingering in the air. As they conducted a seance to communicate with the spirit, the room's temperature dropped drastically. The lights flickered, and they heard a guttural growl emanating from Sam's throat. Dr. Williams realized they were dealing with something far more sinister than a simple haunting. Dr. Williams discovered that the entity tormenting Sam was connected to an incident from his childhood. When Sam was 10 years old, his family had visited an abandoned mansion in Salem, Massachusetts, rumored to be cursed. Sam had wandered off and found himself in the basement, where he accidentally disturbed a ritual site. Unbeknownst to him, he had awakened a vengeful spirit bound to that place for centuries. The spirit had been waiting for the right moment to take its revenge, and it had finally found its way back to Sam after all these years. The phone calls, the spine pain, the nightmares, it was all part of the entity's plan to break him down. Dr. Williams and Emily prepared for a final exorcism. They set up candles, protective sigils, and holy water in the apartment. As they began chanting prayers, Sam convulsed violently, his voice alternating between screams and laughter. The entity inside him was resisting, throwing furniture across the room with an unseen force. In a desperate attempt, Dr. Williams commanded the spirit to reveal its true name. The apartment shook as the entity screamed, "I am Azura, the keeper of lost souls." With this revelation, Dr. Williams intensified his prayers, and a blinding light filled the room. Sam collapsed to the ground, unconscious. After what felt like an eternity, the room fell silent. The dark presence was gone, and Sam slowly regained consciousness. However, he had no memory of the past few days. The ordeal had left him weak but alive. Dr. Williams warned the couple to leave the apartment immediately and never look back. Sam and Emily moved to the quiet town of Boulder, Colorado, hoping to start fresh. But every now and then, Sam would hear that same eerie whisper in his dreams, reminding him that some things are never truly gone. The past always finds a way to catch up, even if it takes years.